guys were presented with two options. The red pill, making Spacians overbearingly competitive, or the blue pill, Spacians never getting hit by the forbidden list. Which one would you take? Well, fortunately for us, there's somewhat of a purple pill, a mixture of both, a deck that can almost never be hit by the forbidden list as well as being competitive inside of this format. You can say it's a little bit of the Matrix. But I think that Neo will take you to space this time around. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go ahead and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Also want to take this time to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. I really do appreciate you guys' continued support. Without further ado, I present you a competitive Spacian deck profile for this format, possibly the next, and more than likely, forever. Okay, so before we get into the deck profile, let's take a look at these stats. I feel like Spacian is a very fun deck to play, but that's where we're gonna leave it. I wouldn't take this past a local level event. I think that it could top a locals at a regular basis, and I also think that it is a relatively cheap deck to play. Now, there was a point in time where I was playing Sky Strikers in here, and I was pretty much forced because I needed a way to make extra monsters or link monsters with arrows pointing down, and Sky Strikers had the best access. Now, there is another way to do it because I know nobody and not everyone can afford Sky Strikers, and to be honest, I feel like this way is a little more comfortable for the Elemental Hero / Spacian cards. But enough of me rambling. Let's start off by talking about the monsters. The main monster of the deck is Elemental Hero Neos. I only played one copy of this. You could bump him up to 2, but I would never play him at 3. Reason being is because he is a level 7, 2500 attack Elemental Hero monster. Really hard to get off into the field, but we have other means to get him onto the field by using other card effects. Next, we do play quite a few Spacian monsters. We play 2 copies of Air Hummingbird, we play 2 copies of Grand Mole, 2 copies of Dark Panther, and 1 copy of Aqua Dolphing. I probably wouldn't change the ratio on this either, just because every single one of these Spacian monsters, except for Aqua Dolphing, get you into a very good card. Like, I mean, pretty dumb good card. Your main goal is to summon Nebulous Neos, and then your second goal is to summon Elemental Hero Air Neos to your side of the field, and those 2 monsters are accomplished by Dark Panther, Grand Mole, and Hummingbird. Aqua Dolphin can actually make some pretty cool plays, but I don't think that it's good enough to play at more than 1, and yes, it does get rid of hand traps, but that's just something that this deck doesn't really look forward to. Next, we do play some Spacian support in the form of 2 copies of Cross Porter. When you first read this card, you realize that it's really good, and then you realize it's really bad because it can miss timing. Then it goes back to really good when you realize it is an E-Soul target. Being a level 2 Dark Warrior does help the deck tremendously at being able to search your Spacians and be able to, basically get Spacians from your hand to your side of the field at the same time. That's it for the Spacians and Spacian support. For the Elemental Heroes, we run 3 copies of Elemental Hero Prisma. This is the guy that you are going to use early and often. Why? Because he's going to allow you to turn himself into any Spacian or Elemental Hero Neos from just by sending it from your deck to your graveyard. It really helps on fueling your plays, and even more importantly, it is an Elemental Hero monster, so it is searchable and easy to special summon. Now, I really didn't want to run Vision Hero Vion, Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, and Blazeman because I wanted to make this a Spacian deck, but we don't run the mash change. You guys could run the mash change if you want to. I actually left extra deck room for you guys to run that. But Blazeman actually does have an application in there because when he's normal summon or special summon, you don't have to banish a hero monster to search polymerization, unlike Vision Hero Vion, and we don't really have a lot of hero monsters to send. Shadow Mist is your free search. It actually goes really well with the deck, and it's part of the combo if you draw either of these. Next, for the hand traps, we only run 3. Your Ciphering, your Gamma, and your Driver. The reason why this is so important is because you run a lot of spells that search or draw while not controlling any monsters. If your opponent is going to be foolish enough to try to stop you, you can just plop these 2 monsters, or this monster, well actually these 2 monsters, I was right. These monsters on the board, prevent your opponent from stopping your activations, and then go on from there. That is it for the monsters at what I believe is either 18 or 20, I'm not 100% sure. For these spells, we get pretty saucy. We run 3 copies of a Hero Lives. You run quite a few targets for your Hero Lives. It allows you to special summon Prisma or Blazeman to your side of the field and start gaining their effects immediately. The half your life points is actually really good because once you start special summoning Elemental Hero Neos, you can actually take advantage of having half life points of your opponent. 3 copies of Miracle Contact. This card is it's the best card in the deck. It allows you to shuffle Neos or Elemental Hero Neos fusion monsters materials from your hand field or graveyard to your deck. I had a little brain fart right there. To special summon an Elemental Hero Neos monster from your deck to your side of the field. This is your go-to card, most important card of the deck because it allows you to get Elemental Hero Neos monsters for free. So it's like, why not play it? 3 copies of Convert Contact. Yes, we only run 7 targets. 8 targets would be optimal. 10 targets would be best. But I don't think that you're going to see all 3 of these in too many Spacians. The fact that this deck does shuffle Spacians back into the deck through Miracle Contact, it just seemed really good to play 3, and it's one of the best cards because it allows you to dig deeper into your deck. Next is 2 Call by the Grave. Hand traps are a must to stop. Sometimes you can stop some of those pesky cards that your opponent puts in the graveyard, but I do run between this and Cypher Game. I have 5 ways to stop my opponent's hand traps. 2 copies of Contact Gate. At first glance, I thought that this was one of the best cards that Spacians had. And then you start looking at it and you're like, I don't have a way to recur my banished Spacians, but it still does give me 2 Spacian monsters, to my side of the field. So it's a really good card. It also allows you to recur other monsters when one of your Spacian fusion monsters leave the field. So I think it's a really decent card. 2 copies of Emergency Call. You can actually take out 1 Emergency Call and place a reinforcement of the army. But the reason why Emergency Call is almost superior is because it can search any Elemental Hero monster, including Neos, from your deck to your hand. The reason why Reinforcement of the Army is good because Vision Hero Vion and Spacian Aqua Dolphing are cards inside of this deck. So I'm going to leave that up to you. And then lastly, we will be Polymerization and 3 equipped spell cards. Instant Neo Space, no Neo Space because, I mean, it's just not great. Instant Neo Space allows you to basically equip it to one of your Elemental Hero Neos monsters, and it doesn't return to the extra deck. And when it's sent to the graveyard, you can actually special summon an Elemental Hero Neos from your hand deck or graveyard to your side of the field. So it's a pretty decent card. You guys already know what Living Fossil, the Monster Reborn of a Equipped Spell card, and DDR do. So that's pretty much it for the spells. Let me talk about the extra deck because there are quite a few options that you guys could be playing. The extra deck is consisting of 12 cards. You can mix and match whatever you guys want. Actually, it's really 10 cards. You can mix and match and play whatever you want from there. I think the only mandatory cards are 2 copies of Elemental Hero Nebulous Neos. This is one of the best cards in the deck. When it is spell summoned, you can draw cards equal to the cards your opponent controls. So if your opponent controls 5 cards, you're going to draw 5 cards. But its mandatory effect forces you to negate 1 face-up card on the field. Fortunately, if you're drawing 5 cards, there's 5 cards that you can negate. Also, when it's returned, it returns to the extra deck during the end phase, and if it does, you banish all cards on the field face down. This actually gives you a good reason to leave your board open because you can draw an extraordinarily amount of cards, punish your opponent for committing all the resources into their main board or into their field, and then after that still have a full-fledged hand. It's a really good card. This is your game-winning card, Elemental Hero Neos. It gains the attack between the differential of you and your opponent's life points when you're in the negative. So after you activate a Hero Lives, your opponent has 4,000 more life points than you. He gains 4,000 attack, making him 6,500. 1 copy of Elemental Hero Grand Neos, really good for monster removal. I'm also Grand Mole target. Elemental Hero Storm Neos. This card's also really good. It returns them all to the deck when he's sent, when he returns himself. But also it destroys all spells and traps upon his summon. Elemental Hero Dark Neos, you really don't have to run him, but he negates monster effects, so that's cool. Same thing with Aqua Dolphin. You really don't have to run him, but it provides more hand distraction. If you're going to use Aqua Dolphin and then Elemental Hero Aqua Neos' effect, that's 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, I guess. That combined with following up with a Nebulous Neos, banishing all cards in the field, could be pretty detrimental. That's it for all the mandatory guys. So you just Skull Dread, just really good for unbreaking your hands. I think for this particular deck, it'll probably be the best link for Topolotic, Trisbana, and Esol. Just a rank 3 that can destroy spells and traps, so you don't have to go into your Elemental Hero Storm Neos. And then Esol is one of the better cards in the deck, allowing you to spell summon cross-border for free. I did start running the Elemental Hero Nova Master Great Tornado Esciardo, you can run your masked heroes, you can even run Mash Change in here, you can run Elemental Hero Honest Neos in here, even though it doesn't count as a counterpart. It works really well with your Air Neos because it'll make them 8,500 just off of a, you know, a little small combo. But that's it for the extra deck. I'm going to show you guys an awesome 4-card OTK and then we can get out of here. I think that this deck it's pretty fun to play. It's not great, but it's really fun to play. And it does have its moments. It has its moments where it can sneak some wins on top of some unsuspecting decks. All right, guys, so this is a 4-card combo, unfortunately, but it's gonna allow you to basically do some real damage to your opponent. The combo that you're gonna need is 1 A Hero Lives, 1 Elemental Hero Prisma, 1 Miracle Contact, and lastly, any Neo Spacian monster from your deck to your hand, depending on the corresponding fusion monsters that you play inside of your extra deck. So if you do play Air Hummingbird, you're gonna need something like a Dark Panther fusion or a Grand Mole fusion, whether it's Elemental Hero YuGiOh or Esciardo. Those are all going to be mandatory inside of your extra deck. What you are going to do is activate A Hero Lives, paying half your life points, or you actually don't need Prisma. I'm going to put Prisma into the deck and add Blazeman to our hand because it doesn't matter. You can either play this with Vion, it just gets you another card, it doesn't matter. I'm going to pay half my life points, 2 special summon Prisma to my side of the field, and then I'm going to normal summon Elemental Hero Blazeman. Blazeman's effect is going to activate. That's going to go ahead and get Polymerization from my deck to my hand, and then I'm going to use Prisma's effect, revealing Elemental Hero Nebulous Neos to send Neo Spacian Dark Panther from my deck to my graveyard. I am then going to use Blazeman and Prisma as a link summon, link summon. The thing that I don't like about Blazeman is that you can use this effect to send Shadow Mist from your deck to your graveyard, but you can't summon any other monsters except for fusion, so you're in a really bad situation. So use those 2 monsters for a link summon of E-Soul, 2 Tails of Noble Knights, and then E-Soul's effect to add Elemental Hero Neos from your deck to your hand. Use the effect of E-Soul, 2 Tails of Noble Knights to send 2 equipped spell cards from your deck to your graveyard to special summon Cross Porter to your side of the field. Use the effect of Cross Porter to tribute itself to special summon your Neo Spacian Grand Mole, and then Cross Porter's other effect to add from your deck to your hand Neo Spacian Air Hummingbird. Now I can activate Polymerization using both Elemental Hero Neos and Neo Spacian Air Hummingbird for the fusion summon of Elemental Hero Great Tornado. Again, this combo can be done with any other monster as long as you have a way to fusion summon with Polymerization. All you have to do is fuse an Elemental Hero monster and a corresponding Neo Spacian card, so you need whatever attribute counterpart there is. Next, you can follow up with Miracle Contact, returning both the Air Hummingbird and the Elemental Hero Neos to special summon Elemental Hero Air Neos from your deck to your side of the field. So the situation is this: you get a Grand Mole to bounce an opponent's monster to your side of the field. Great Tornado has the attack of all of your opponent's monsters. Air Neos actually has a differential, and I paid 4,000 life points to summon this guy, so he by himself is 6,500. The only problem with this is you need to attack with the Air Neos first, because once you start inflicting damage to your opponent, if you start inflicting damage to your opponent with attacks, Air Neos attack will decrease. But still, this should be enough to make game with a little 4-card combo. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. I just wanted to say my table has been awesome. And on top of that, I think we fixed our lighting issue, so let us know down below in the comment section. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.